Good morning. So it's 6:30 right now. Today they only have the treatment center open from 6 to 9, and I don't go back until Tuesday.
Good morning, everyone. It's your girl Chichi, and you already know the vibes. Welcome to ChiChi's Unscripted Unfiltered Life, a diary of a psychic in recovery, where I share the real, raw parts of my journey. And today, I'm diving into something that's not easy for me to talk about, but it's a big part of my recovery. And I'm just asking for a little bit of your patience as I walk through this process. Honestly, opening up about my truth is really tough. Even some of my families don't even know everything I'm going through. So it really feels like I'm exposing myself here. But I'm learning it's okay to not be perfect. Because, let's face it, nobody is. I've fallen many times, but I always get back up. I'm suited and booted, ready for whatever life throws my way. At least that's what I tell myself. But let's be real, it's not always that easy. There are times when I just want to break down, cry, or hide away from it all. But lately, I've been learning that it's okay not to be okay. And that's something I want to share with you all today. One thing that always helps me get back on track is helping others. That's why I'm sharing my story. To reach someone out there who might be struggling and let them know they're not alone. I want to show you what a beautiful disaster can look like while rebuilding my life, step by step. Now, there's a lot of stigma around people who go to methadone clinics. We're often labeled as crackheads. And that stereotype is not only hurtful, but also harmful to people in both active addiction and recovery. But I'm learning to shift my mindset. Instead of asking myself, why me? I'm starting to ask myself, why not me? God didn't save me for no reason. And I'm on a mission to understand my purpose, spiritually and in my recovery journey.
Okay, I'm about to go brush my teeth, grab the keys, and then get ready to go.
I go so hard, they still discredit my talent. Took shit too far, now they regretting what happened. Hard for my mama to accept, I'm a savage. You play, I'm letting you have it. Bring out the best in me or be a distraction.
Hey y'all, it is 7:50. I am fourth in line in the treatment center. I am waiting. It's moving pretty fast. Most of the time it don't move too fast because today is normally where people pick up. And depending on how many days you pick up for is... So for me right now, I phased up because I didn't have any failed drug screens. So I phased up. So now I have 2 days that I pick up. So I only come here 4 days out of the week. No, 5 days. Yeah, 5 days out of the week. I come Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Sunday and Monday, I don't come. And then Saturday, they only open from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Or 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. So right now, I'm fourth in line. Normally it's like really quick when you come in here, but because everybody's picking up for the weekend or for the week, depending on what phase they're in. It might take some time, but yeah, I had a good drive coming over here. It's about 45 minutes from where I stay, and just praying and talking to God, and just really having a good talk with God. There's so many times that I can't believe how much I was asking for change, and now the change came, and I'm crying. Ooh, why? Why you gotta do this to me, God? Even though my boss was treating me like crap, they just love belittling people at the job that I had. But people moving quick today. But yeah, it's been a little bit tough. A big part of my life is my spirituality.
So for those who are new to the channel, yes, I am a psychic in recovery. And I also have BPD, which stands for Borderline Personality Disorder. And right now, I'm in the middle of an active BPD episode. For me, that means dealing with intense emotional instability. A BPD episode can be triggered by something as simple as an argument or emotional stress. For me, this episode was definitely triggered by the loss of my job and feeling that I let my family down again. But nothing I can do about that now except move forward. Let me go ahead and break down what a typical BPD episode might look like for me. The emotional intensity is debilitating. My emotions can shift from happiness to sadness, anger, or emptiness in a matter of moments. That pain can feel so overwhelming. The changes are so overwhelming. I have a fear of abandonment. That fear is paralyzing. It feels like an irrational fear of being rejected when there's no actual threat. And that can lead to very frantic behaviors and emotional outbursts that are not pretty. My impulsive behaviors are reckless. To cope with all these emotions going up and down, I sometimes act impulsively, whether that's through spending sprees, which I won't be doing since I don't have a job, relapsing, or just doing anything else self-destructive. I have identity disturbances, which if you saw in the last episode, you could kind of see me going through one. I'm kind of scattered brain all over the place. And I'm uncertain about who I am, what I want. It's very confusing. I have a lack of direction, a sense of myself. I'm glad I recorded it. But it's very disorienting. I have interpersonal issues that are exhausting. My relationships can feel very unstable, swinging between idolizing others to devaluing them, and it leads to a lot of unnecessary tension. Dissociation can be filled with nothing but paranoia, okay? I feel disconnected from my body or from reality, and that can lead to confusion or paranoid thoughts. And then, it goes to self-harm and unaliving thoughts of oneself, which are deceiving. And in those moments of extreme pain, the idea of that, unfortunately, it feels like the only way to cope. And I've had times that I've had to really stop myself and just go and journal and just remove myself from that space. Talk to a friend. If you're going through the same thing, that's what I would tell you to do. You know, don't ever try to deal with this by yourself. It's not pretty, and I don't suggest anyone else to try and deal with it by themselves. Yeah. But that's why I've been away from the spirituality just for this little bit. But let's get back to the show.
And I haven't really talked about it just because, you know, it was hard to get used to, because I went from speaking to God, you know, here and there, and, you know, having a relationship with God, but it wasn't as close as it is now, with my ancestors, with my spirit guides, and now it's just so different, you know. I can always feel them around me. I can always feel the angels around me.
Listen, I always say this. Self-awareness is a superpower, and it's something I've really come to rely on in my recovery and spiritual journey. I know I have to be extremely diligent, especially when I'm dealing with an active BPD episode. And during these times, meditation isn't something I turn to. I try to stay out of the spiritual realm as much as possible when I'm in the middle of an episode. And it's hard to even make sense of what I'm experiencing, let alone trying to navigate the gifts I have, like mediumship and psychic abilities. Half of the time, the things that you see, feel, and hear are so incredible and out of this world. You really have to, it's so crucial for you to stay grounded during those moments, especially during an active BPD episode. And it's not that I don't value my spiritual gifts, but when I am in an unstable emotional state, they can become overwhelming. And I've learned that trying to meditate or tap into the spiritual realm can leave me feeling even more disoriented and confused. When I first received my gifts, it was incredibly disorienting, especially with the combination of addiction and BPD. Imagine being in the midst of all that emotional chaos and suddenly being able to pick up on others people's thoughts. Like, you're going to really start believing at some point that you're crazy and you've lost it. And I felt like that. I felt like I had completely lost my mind. So during these episodes, you won't see me doing much of any meditation. The spiritual connection is so strong for me that I can literally close my eyes and tune into someone's thoughts. And believe me, I respect everyone's wishes. I do not read people without their permission. And I can't help the Spirit gives me information when He does, or when the Holy Ghost does, but I do. And it can be overwhelming. It just adds to the instability. So staying grounded is my priority. And I have to be mindful not to overwhelm myself when I'm picking up my spirituality. So during these moments, I will not be in the spiritual realm or closing my eyes much since I don't have a choice. So it kind of goes with that. It takes a lot. You won't see me getting much sleep in an active episode.
And my gifts that came in, but I never really talked about you know, what happened and how it happened. And I know I look a mess today. I gotta shave this. This all came in. I gotta shave this and do my hair. I'm probably gonna do it later. I gotta clean up the house and stuff, but I'm third in line. And my candy because the medicine is nasty. Y'all, I'm about to hit 6 months clean. That's crazy to me. And it's so much easier to be clean when you don't have so many people. Like, my job just really is like an abusive ex-boyfriend. You know, a horrible relationship that you just can't leave, but you keep coming back to. And I just kept on asking God to change what was happening in my life, to change things for the better. Oh, I'm second in line. And then I lost my job, but boy, these blessings in disguise be crazy. I be telling God too, like, please God, I do not want another blessing in disguise. Just give it to me directly. They don't come like that. They still come as a blessing in disguise. I gotta just learn how to stop judging it before, and just like deal with it as it comes. I was watching Peach, and she was talking about how, you got to become solution based instead of worrying. My stress has always come from just trying to make sure that, like, I do the best that I can, no matter how miserable I am. And you don't have to live your life like that. Like, it's so crazy, the stuff that we choose to deal with just for a paycheck. And the paycheck don't even pay all of our bills. But yeah, all right, they about to call my number. I am first in line, and I got this big. I be looking crazy. I walk around with this big lock box that was like $27. I don't know why I got it, but I didn't think they was gonna take the smaller one. And then I see everybody come in here with little things that look like little lunch boxes with locks on it. I should have went and got me one of those. I'm gonna get me a new one this week because I'm tired of lugging this big thing around. But all right, y'all.
3 minutes later.
Okay, y'all. So this is what they give you to take home. I get 2 take homes. And when I take my dose here for today. So it's 8:05, so I'm about to hit the road. Alright, so we gotta take the baby's a bed. The baby's a bed. Right, we gotta take the baby's a bed.
My poor babies, they really needed a medication. Oh my God, my babies had fleas. No. And this one right here, Wavy, okay, he's the one that's licking the water. The way these dogs act, you would act like we don't feed them, we beat them, we mistreat them. They are so spoiled. You have no idea how spoiled these dogs are. It's so ridiculous. But anyways, let me get back to my treatment. So right now, actually, before I get into that, right now I'm having to just go ahead and give them a flea bath. Unfortunately, I have to put some, I gave them medication earlier. Me, the kids, my honey, we all came together and got them some medication, and now I'm doing the shampoo for them. So they took the medication a half an hour ago. I gave it to them as soon as I got home. And it normally takes a half an hour for it to kick in. So we're about an hour in. And so I'm just making sure that they're good to go. I'm getting the bath water warm. I'm getting their towels ready because we do spoil them crazy, and I know it's super cold right now, and I don't want them to be cold and freezing, and they get cold even when I put a small heater into the bathroom just so that the room stays nice and warm for them, but they still get really cold. They're tiny babies, so. But yeah, so getting back to my treatment journey, one of the biggest challenges I've faced on this journey is learning that this is just a part of who I am, not the whole of me. I'm learning to manage it better, taking things one day at a time. Since I started treatment back in September, I've really been focusing on my healing. Before I lost my job, which is a whole other story for a whole different day, which, oh my God, that's going to be an interesting vlog. I honestly thought treatment was going to be impossible for me. But after a huge blowout that I had with my daughter, where she told me exactly what needed to change, and realizing how my struggles were affecting not just me, but my entire family, I knew I had to make a change. Anything was better than what I was going through at the moment. Anything. And I've had so many biases and fears, but eventually I came to the realization that I shouldn't do this alone anymore. I could keep trying and make it harder than it needs to be, like I've been doing. But I've been battling this since 2008, with 5 years of sobriety in between. However, after the car accidents and the medically necessary surgeries, staying clean and sober became a bigger struggle. There was so many in-betweens, being in the hospital for one thing. It was a lot all at the time. And honestly, I just didn't want to face it alone anymore. And I'm so grateful I didn't have to. I have my honey, I have my kids, I have my mom, I have my best friend. I have my other soul sister, Simone. But, you know, Rashida's just been a huge part of my life, and they've all been just there for me, and I thank them so much for all being there for me during this time. But I really needed just to go into treatment, and I felt really ashamed about having to go into treatment, and because of my own biases and even the things that I've heard about it before, it just has a lot of bad stigma around it. And because of that exact reason, I want to take a moment to talk about the methadone treatment. Because there's a lot of stigma and misunderstanding around it, and I've come to realize that this methadone is not just a medication, it's a holistic tool for recovery. I feel like I need to be part of the solution instead of the problem, and tell more about how it does help. So methadone is commonly used in what is called MAT, medication assisted treatment, for opioid use disorder. It acts on the same opioid receptors in the brain as other opioids, but in a much more controlled way, without the euphoric high. So this helps reduce cravings and withdrawal symptoms without causing the intense rush that comes with drugs like heroin or prescription painkillers. By binding to the opioid receptors, methadone provides other opioids like the heroin or painkillers from triggering that high. So it makes the urge to misuse them, it reduces that. It stabilizes the opioid levels, it eases the withdrawal symptoms, and curbs the cravings, which helps in turn prevent relapse. And methadone is an important tool for long-term recovery, but it is definitely needed to be done under professional supervision. You need to be going to a doctor, and you need to be, with me being in treatment, I'm having the counseling, I'm having the group, that is helping. All of those things help so much. So if you're dealing with any of these things, here's just some words of hope that I have for you. Recovery is a journey that takes strength, courage, and patience. It's not for the faint of heart. But remember, it's not about perfection. It's about progress. Every small step forward counts as a victory, even when it feels impossible. Trust the process and trust yourself. Healing is always possible, even in your darkest moments. Transformation often comes in the toughest times. Remember, you are not defined by your struggles, but by your strength to rise again. The more you keep moving forward with faith, the more you realize it's a new opportunity to heal. And even in the storm, trust that the sky will clear and the rainbow will appear. Recovery is not a race, it's a journey. And if you embrace the steps, you honor the setbacks, and you trust that the peace will find you, it will when you least expect it. You are worthy of love. You are worthy of growth. You are worthy of healing. Your past does not define your future, and your struggles do not determine who you are. Believe in your ability to change, because the best chapters of your story are still ahead and still being written. That quiet voice deep inside of you is hope. It's the voice that tells you to keep going, even when the road ahead feels so uncertain. Hold on to that voice. It will guide you through the darkness. Healing isn't a straight path, and that's okay. It's full of ups and downs, but every moment you spend working toward recovery brings you closer to the peace and joy that you deserve. You may feel broken right now, but remember, broken things can be rebuilt stronger than before. I personally don't resonate with the saying, broken crayons still color, because I believe being broken and transforming are two different things. Brokenness implies a state of fragility and loss, while transformation is about healing, growth, and rebuilding into something stronger and more whole. It's about rising, evolving, and finding strength in the process. It's not about staying broken, but about becoming the person you're meant to be. Stepping into your power and moving beyond what once held you down. Transformation is an active process of healing and change. not just continuing to function while still in pieces. You have the power to rise from your struggles and create a life filled with purpose, peace, and strength. Recovery is a testament to your resilience. It takes immense courage to face your challenges head on. And with every step, you are becoming the person you are meant to be. When you feel like giving up, remember, there is always hope on the horizon. Your recovery is a story of strength, courage, and faith. The best is yet to come. And there is no shame in seeking help, no weakness in reaching out, and no limit to the healing you can achieve. Your past is behind you. Your future is full of endless possibilities and the promise of a brighter tomorrow. And like the saying goes, there's a reason why right now is called present, because it is a gift. So remember, recovery is a journey. It's not a destination. Keep your faith strong. Trust in your own resilience and know that you are never alone in the process. Every step forward is a step toward the life you deserve. So I just want to thank you so much for being here with me today. Your support truly means the world. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let's keep sharing this journey together. I love you all, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.